Hello everyone, welcome to my video lecture on ICT Unit 2 Part 2. In Part 1, we discussed various topics like primary memory, auxiliary memory, cache memory, and various memory devices and hardware. Now, in this session, we will discuss the remaining topics in Unit 2, that is software, firmware, peopleware, operating system, Microsoft disk operating system, Microsoft Windows operating system, and various components in Microsoft Windows operating system. Let's come to the software. These two are very important. When you talk about any computer, we can represent any computer with two terms, hardware and software. These two are the major things. With these two only, our total work is done with the computer. So hardware anyway we discussed. Next is the software. What is a software? It is subset of programs and procedures and set of associated documents. All together can be used to perform our tasks, to perform the user job. Okay. Example are MS Word, Excel, PowerPoint, spreadsheets, library management system, or your ATM system. If when you go to the ATM, you can see some kind of software. With the software only, it is all working. Means it give you an interface where you can insert your card. Then it will ask you a PIN number. Then it will navigate you to another window where it will give us various kind of options like withdraw and then balance inquiry, all those. And if you click on if you press that withdraw, and it will navigate to the withdrawal process. All that happen with ATM software only. Means banking transactions we are doing with ATM software. Like in day-to-day life, we are using various kind of softwares. Okay. Generally two types of softwares we have: system software and then application software. Here in this diagram we can clearly distinguish system software. It is in between. Our system software is in between. This is our system software. In this figure we can clearly see hardware in between application software and the hardware. We can see system software. The purpose we can discuss. System software, we can operating system, I can also call it as a software. Without operating system we cannot do any task with the system. Okay, that is a system level software. What are all other softwares available? All those things we can call it as a system software. To make the system ready to do any other kind of the tasks, we use system softwares. Hardware means simply devices. We have to make them for usage. So for that we need software, that is a system software. Then application software means to develop any kind of application we use application software. Like for gaming software we use. For to perform any edit any documents, word processors we use. Or to keep any data in the form of database, we use databases. And if you want to browse the net, we use browsers. All these are application softwares. Let's come to the system software. It consists of all the operating system and all the utilities that enable the computer to function. ఒక కంప్యూటర్ ఫంక్షన్ అవ్వాలి అని అంటే మనకు కంపల్సరీ సిస్టమ్ సాఫ్ట్వేర్ అనేది ఉండాలి. ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్, కంపైలర్, లోడర్, లింకర్, ఇంటర్ప్రిటర్, ఎక్సెట్రా ఎక్సెట్రా. టైప్స్ ఆఫ్ సిస్టమ్ సాఫ్ట్వేర్స్ మీకు వివరించడం జరిగింది. ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్స్, యూటిలిటీస్, డివైస్ డ్రైవర్స్, లాంగ్వేజ్ ట్రాన్స్లేటర్స్. Operating system, it is a interface between user and computer, and this software manage the computer hardware and software resources. It provides services to the computer programs. So system it also effectively manage the system resources. Like various types of operating systems are in nowadays in market. Windows is the most popular operating system. Linux is the most secure operating system. These are all some other Mac OS, Solaris, Sun, Cobalt, FreeBSD, Red Hat. These are all other kind of operating systems. The most popular is Windows, user friendly. The most secure is the Linux. Next, utilities. These are also a software. These are generally used to analyze, configure, optimize, or to maintain the computer. These utilities generally we use. Common utilities are hardware utilities, virus detection and recovery utilities. To maintain all your devices, you need utilities. If any problem comes, to solve your problem, we need utilities. If the keyboard is not functioning, what to do to get ready the keyboard? So utilities play a role. Like if any file is corrupted, or if to detect the spams, or to block anything, or to backup, or to uninstall, all these kind of activities to solve a particular problem or to maintain your system, these utilities are used. Next, device driver. It is a communication device between your device and computer. Some kind of interface must be there. The devices is made up with a different manufacturing company, and these devices are attached to your computer system. So this there should be some communication device to attach your device to your computer system, because they made up with different companies. Like mouse, you can buy different kind of mouses, and printers, you can buy different kind of printers, and you can attach to your system. So driver plays a vital role which connects your device to the computer. So to if any new device is attached to the system, a driver must be corresponding driver must be installed. Language translators. Computer can only understand ones and zeros. It is electronic device. The voltage is high, treat the data as bit 1. If a voltage is low, it treats the data as bit 0. Means it understands only ones and zeros. But we are giving nowadays to the information to the computer in the form of language, like English like language. Okay. So who will how this high level data is converted into low level data? Here translators play a role which converts high level language into low level language. Compilers, examples, assemblers, interpreters. Compiler convert high level to low level. Assembler converts a mnemonic code language to low level language. Interpreter means it translate and then execute at the same time. So far we discussed about system software. Let's move to the application software. These are the programs which are designed to make the user more comfortable to do their personal tasks. This application software means word processor, spreadsheet, database management system, payroll system, inventory control system. All these are called as application softwares. Your MS Office tool, you can call it as Microsoft Office tools ఉంటాయి కదా, వర్డ్, పవర్ పాయింట్, వీటన్నిటిని మనం అప్లికేషన్ సాఫ్ట్వేర్ కింద చెప్పొచ్చు. టైప్స్ ఆఫ్ అప్లికేషన్ సాఫ్ట్వేర్స్: proprietary, in-house, off-the-shelf, contract. Proprietary means licensed software. Some softwares we have to buy, and these are licensed software, so that only we have a right to access that. So exclusive legal right to the owner. Proprietary softwares. Some are in-house softwares. With the help of company resources, we can develop those kind of softwares. Off-the-shelf softwares means existing software programs we can use without any changes, without expecting any changes. For all the existing softwares you can use, they call it as off-the-shelf. Contract. These softwares are developed for a specific company for the specific purpose. Forms of application software. It comes in different forms. Package form. Best example is Microsoft Office. In this Microsoft Office, if you open start button or click the Microsoft application, it will give you various options like Microsoft PowerPoint, Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Access, MS Excel, MS PowerPoint, various types of applications we have. All those come under one package. The best example is Microsoft Office. Custom software. It is made for a company for a specific purpose. Like if I develop one software for our college, like attendance system, that is a custom software. Next, web application. Any application that uses the web browser is called web application. Google Docs, Dropbox are the best examples. Next, open source software means the name itself says it, which is openly available to anyone. They can change and modify, and they can distribute also. Linux is the open source software. Best example, Moodle, WordPress, Drupal, all these are open source softwares. Next, freeware means that software is freely available from the internet. We can download it and we can use it. Freely available, not on antivirus. We can freely access from the internet. So such a software we can call it as freeware. So far we discussed about software, what is software, and then types of software, system software and application software. Next, let's move to the firmware. It is also a software program or set of instructions which are programmed on any hardware device. Means it is a layer between hardware and software. We can also call firmware as embedded software. Means the instructions that are programmed into any device is called firmware. Means in washing machine we can program some set of instructions. The programs are recorded, or in washing machines or in microwave ovens, the cooking recipes, everything is programmed on the device. Okay, that is embedded within the device. So such a software we can call it as firmware. Generally, if firmware is installed in ROM chips, means even in cars, you are playing some music and cars are having some display units. How the information is displayed in the cars, or how the information is displayed in the whatever are the machines like microwave ovens and washing machines, there is a ROM chip. Means your program is installed in that ROM chips. Whatever program installed in that ROM chips, that in any device, it are embedded into any device, that that program we can call it as firmware. Examples: iPods, control menus, operating system on router, are this firmware we can found in every electronic device you can think of. What does it do, this firmware? This enables the device to render its capabilities functional. Means it coordinates the activities of the hardware, and means this contains some programming constructs which are used to perform the operations. Means here modem is given as an example. Means we can control the rate, we can commands at, we can do some command set recognition. See, best example is microwave oven. Means we are programming the microwave oven in a way that we can perform, we can cook various kind of recipes with the help of microwave oven. So that programming process we can call it as a firmware. All those programs that are recorded into that microwave oven is called as a firmware. This was developed with low level language only because this is embedded into the device. So that's why we have to record into low level language. So to develop these firmwares, the developer must have deep understanding of the hardware. It must be well tested because it is embedded. So before we incorporate into, embed into any device, it must be well tested. The firmware trends: upgradable, portable, open source and closed source. Upgradable: nowadays firmware it can be rewritten. Olden days it is only read only. Nowadays it can be rewritten, means it can be easily updated. Portable means this firmware we can place it in any host system, and then we can access, all the devices can access from that host system. For example, Linux, there is some folder for the firmware for the Linux library, lib folder. There is a firmware in a lib folder, there is a firmware folder where we can kept all your firmware and all into the Linux system. Open source and closed source. Two examples we have: Linux BIOS and Open BIOS, basic input output system. This is this basic input output system where the firmware code is run by IBM PC. So what is the purpose of this firmware in the IBM personal computer? It initializes the motherboard components and all other peripherals and graphics controllers, storage controllers, every controllers. Finally it boot the operating system. So to make the system ready for use, this basic input output system is used. This BIOS comes in the form of firmware in the IBM personal computer. This is firmware. Next, let's see the peopleware. What is peopleware? Peopleware can refer to anything that has to do with the role of the people in the development or use of computer software and hardware system. Roles played by different people for the development of the hardware or for the development of the software. So examples of the peopleware are computer engineers, we can call it as peopleware; software designers, assemblers, technicians, software engineers, server administrators, all of them we can call it as peopleware. Let's see some famous peopleware. Charles Babbage, he is the father of our computer. Alan Turing, he is the father of the computer science and artificial intelligence. Philip Don Estridge, he is the father of the IBM personal computer. Next, he is the person Lawrence Laurie Pace. He invented Google search engine. Bill Gates, everyone knows this person, he is a famous person. He is the owner of the Microsoft company. Everyone knows it because he is the, as other time he is the world's richest person. That's why he is familiar. Now let's see the pictures of their invention also. First mechanical computer by Charles Babbage. This computer look in this way. Turing machine. This is the IBM personal computer by Don Estridge. Google search engine by Laurie Pace. World Web. And Windows operating system by Bill Gates. Some famous Windows operating system: Windows XP, Windows Vista 7, 8, Windows 10. Latest is Windows 10. This is about peopleware, means different people and their inventions, their role in the development of computer hardware and software. Next, let's move to the operating system. Earlier we discussed operating system. It is an interface between user and computer. Without operating system, we cannot do anything with the system, which makes the system ready to use. Okay, and it also responsible for management and coordination of various activities done in the computer, and it also shares the resources of the computer. So from where the data is moved, from where the data from keyboard, from where the data is moved, which device to which device the data has to move, how the data has to move. So every activity, all the activities are coordinated and controlled by operating system only. The famous example operating systems are MS-DOS, Windows, Mac OS, Linux, Solaris, Android. Android means in our phones we use this operating system, Android operating system. That is also an operating system. When this Android came into picture, smartphones are becoming popular, and we are doing many types of tasks. Whatever the tasks we do in the system, most of the tasks we do in the computer, most of the tasks we do in the Android phones with the help of this software only. Okay, see the here application and user with the help of the application he is doing his own task. In between this hardware and his application, operating system interface. In between this is the user's application, is interacting with the system with user application. This is our hardware. Okay, this is the media operating system. This is the interface between user application and the hardware. Types of operating systems. The several types: single user, multi-user, multitasking, multiprocessing, distributed, real-time operating system. So first let's come to the single user operating system. They are in two forms: single user single task, single user multitask. Means only one user can able to do one task at a time. Palm OS, palm handheld computers, means only one task only we can do with that palm handheld computer. That is single user single task. Single user multitask, single user in mind but can able to do many tasks at the same time. So this type of operating system used by most of the people on their desktop and laptop. For example, we can open we can listen to some music, we can download some file, and we can edit some Word document. Several tasks we can do at the same time. Simultaneously we can do single user with the help of over the desktop and over the laptop. Single user multitasking. Multi-user operating system means here we can see in this diagram the operating system resources are shared by different users. All the servers we can call it as multi-users. A server is having multi-user operating system. Examples: Unix. Unix is a multi-user operating system. It allows multiple users to access the system. Multitasking means allow more than one program to run. That is multitasking means all the computer resources like CPU and main memory is shared among all those multiple tasks. Means your CPU switched from one task to another task. At one time we are executing one program, and while executing, if you want to read some data from the hard disk, at the time we have to read the data from hard disk. At the time CPU sits idle, so the CPU switched to another task for executing, for to perform some calculations. In that way the CPU switched from one task to another task. So that's why it is called as a multitasking. Multiprocessing means, name itself says, several programs are running in parallel. In parallel means there are multiple CPUs. At one CPU we can do one job, like multiple tasks we can do. If a task is bigger, we can divide it into parts and we can allocate to different processors, and collectively they can finish the task with less time. Real time operating system, which is generally used to execute real time applications. Their objective is they have to quickly respond to events. So in scientific instruments or to control any machinery like aircraft designing and all, we use this real-time operating system. QNX, RT Linux are the examples of real-time operating systems. So these are various types of operating systems. Let's move to the functions of operating systems. Operating system can do many tasks. As I said, it manages computer resources, in control and coordinates various activities, as I said in the definition. Let's see various functions of operating system. Resource management, data management, job management, standard communication between user and computer. So resource management. So under resource management, OS allocates computer resources such as CPU, main memory, secondary storage and all input devices for use. Data management, where to keep the data, what is the location, how can we retrieve that data, all these things are managed under data management. Job management, how can you schedule the tasks, how can you finish the tasks, all these things are coordinated by operating system as a job management. And standard means of communication between user and communicator, as I said, it provides an interface. So with that interface, the user is able to communicate with the hardware. So this is about operating system. Let's move to the two famous operating systems invented by Microsoft. That is, first one is MS-DOS, Microsoft Disk Operating System. Later, Microsoft company this MS-DOS, to overcome the limitations of MS-DOS, Windows came into the picture with graphical user interface. MS-DOS works with command line interface, means the user has to type some commands and all, he has to remember some commands and all. That is the drawback in MS Disk Operating System. To overcome that, we move to MS Windows. So these two are the two famous operating systems by Microsoft organization, Bill Gates Microsoft organization. First let's see MS-DOS. DOS means Disk Operating System. This is widely installed in any personal computer, means office use computers and personal computers. We install this disk operating system. This is a single user operating system, only it allows one user under command line interface. So this is popular in 1990s. Okay, major tasks are input and output device, to control input and output device, to load and execute programs, to maintain the data on the disk. These are the various tasks done by the disk operating system. It has three important files: BAT files, COM files and executable files. Means we can work on this disk operating system mainly on commands. So let's see DOS commands. Series of programs designed to control the computer resources. Most of these commands are in English words, like see some, for example, erase, copy, delete, print, delete some file, print some file, copy file from one location to another location, erase the content in a file. These are some examples commands. It has two types of commands: internal command and external command. These internal commands are more generally used commands. They are in command.com file. These are the common commands, I can call it as. Some of the internal commands: if you want to clear the screen, CLS command we use. If you want to know the version number of this operating system, VER you can use. If you want to know the volume label, VOL we can use. If you want to exit the command processor, we can use exit. DOS external commands, these are used less frequently. Internal commands, they are in main memory. External command, they are these are automatically loaded into RAM only when needed. Only when needed only they are loaded. Rarely, less frequently we can use. Some DOS external commands are check the disk, validity of the disk, how many number of files present over the disk, how to compare the two different files, how to start the command processor, command is used to create some drive, sys command is used. These are some external less frequently used commands. Let's see some basic DOS commands. cd, change directory, you can call. Means directory means some folder. In a drive we can create various folders. In a folder and another folder we can create. A folder contains, a directory contains, and a subdirectories as well as files. So we have to do any work, we have to be there in some directory. That directory we can call it as a current directory. Okay, so to change the directory we use cd command. See example, cd c:\dos means in a C drive it create a DOS folder. Okay, suppose if you are in if your current directory is C, within a C drive, in a DOS folder, in a DOS directory you have created another folder, means you are presently at folder. Or if you want to go back to the DOS, cd dot dot, if you type like cd dot at the command line interface, it will bring back to the previous command. See here, this is your current directory. If you want to go to this DOS directory, cd dot dot you can type and it will bring you to the c colon / DOS, means you are now at DOS folder. Previous you are at folder DOS, within a DOS and another folder you are at folder. Now you are at DOS. Copy command. Copy the file from one location to another location. See the example, copy a text file name is file.txt, which can be copied from A to C. Directory command, it will display the content of the folder. Delete command, it will delete a file or empty any directory, we use delete command. Edit command, it will open any text file for edit some text. Move command, it will move a file or directory from one location to another location. Here is an example, the same file can be moved from A to C. Copy means this file is existed both in A and C, whereas in move file is existed in C only, means it is moved from A to C. Next, md command, to create one folder, to make one directory we use md command. Example, md my folder means my folder is created as a current directory. Tree command, it will show all the folders and files in a particular directory. cls command, it will clear the content of the screen. Del tree means it will delete all files and folders. This is about Microsoft disk operating system. Let's see the famous operating system, widely acceptable operating system, that is Microsoft Windows. It is a multitasking operating system developed by Microsoft Corporation. 1972 it will be named as Trafo Data, again renamed as Micro-Soft in 1975. Now it is renamed as Microsoft. So initial version is in a 1981 Microsoft company released version 1.0, that is MS-DOS. 16-bit command line operating system. Nowadays our latest Windows operating system is latest operating system from the Microsoft company is Windows 10, which is in 64-bit graphical user interface. These are various inventions. Windows, how Windows is evolved from its starting version 1.0 1985, 2.0 87, 3 1990, Windows 95 1995, 98. With the year it was named like Windows 95, Windows 98, Windows ME, Windows in September 2010, 2000 in October 2001 Windows XP, in 2006 Vista, and then Windows 2009 Windows 7, and then 2012 Windows 8.0, 2013 8.1, now current Windows 10. Now various in Windows operating system, various components we can see. The desktop, it is the very first screen that you will see once the Windows starts. Once the operating system is booted, the first screen that you see is the desktop. This consists of my computer, my document, start menu, recycle bin, and if any shortcut applications you have created for a quick access. మనం ఏమైనా క్విక్గా ఓపెన్ చేయాలని అప్లికేషన్స్ ఏమైనా పెట్టుకుంటే, సార్ ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు ఓపెన్ ఫైల్స్ క్విక్లీ యాక్సెసిబుల్ ఫైల్స్, ఎవ్రీథింగ్ యూ కెన్ kept in desktop. My computer, there is a my computer icon. If you double click that my computer icon, it will navigate you to computer drives, computer permanent memory, hard disk memory. We already discussed that memory comes in different drives. It will navigate to all those computers and control panel tools. My documents, it will it is a folder which contains all the documents and other files. Suppose if you created any document, the default folder to save your file is the my document. If you did not mention any path, by default it will be saved into my document. My pictures, all the pictures, whatever pictures we created, the default folder to save your pictures is my pictures folder. Next, my video, it consists of all the videos. Windows 10 operating system video folder we can find under user profile. This is the path C:user some user, and by typing %user profile and file explorer address bar also, it will navigate to the videos folder. Otherwise this PC, if you click on this PC, it will give you video folder. Recycle bin, you know that the purpose of recycle bin. Suppose if you want to delete if you want to remove unwanted things from the computer, all those unwanted things kept in recycle bin, means if you delete any item, it will be placed into the recycle bin. Okay, means it all those things kept in recycle bin. If you again want to activate it, you have bring back to your computer memory from the recycle bin, we can make it active. Suppose if you remove into the recycle bin, if it is permanently removed. Otherwise with a shortcut key also directly we can permanently remove with a shift del. So it will did not go to the recycle bin, directly it is removed even from the recycle bin also. Next, task bar. At the bottom of the screen you will see this task bar. This is your task bar. Whatever files and all open files, currently running application, this taskbar contains. In this taskbar also you can pin frequently used applications like browsers, Word, those are the frequently used applications. You can pin those applications also under taskbar, and whatever are the files, other files you open, all those also you can kept under taskbar. These are various Windows components. So we discussed under Microsoft Windows how it was invented, what are various versions, what are different kind of icons, what are their role, we discussed. This is about Microsoft Windows. So with this second session, so I have introduced a Windows operating system. Now we are familiar with the Windows operating system. Now we can get ready to do Microsoft get ready to operate Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint and Microsoft Excel. These are covered in next 3 units. Unit 3 Microsoft Word, Unit 4 Microsoft PowerPoint, and Unit 5 Microsoft Excel. In the next video I'll come up with Microsoft Word. With this, we finished our second unit. Thank you for patiently listening.